What's up guys, it's Eric with Ferris Engineering, and today we're going to be installing the 6-port heat shield for the Supra. It's basically the same thing as the 2-port, but the 6-port fits on the 6-port exhaust manifold. 2-port fits on the 2-port exhaust manifold. What you're going to see from these is reduced engine bay temps, reduced intake air temps. It basically does everything you want it to do and more. We have data. Put it right here, Clay. All right, let's get to the install. First, we'll go through what tools you need, and then we're gonna go through what's included in the kit, and we'll get to the install. Let's do it. All right, so as far as kit components, we have the main heat shield. We have the side piece, which will bolt to the main piece. Then we have an assortment of hardware, basically some machined aluminum spacers that are gonna go behind the heat shield. We got some M8 hardware, which will bolt there and there. And then this small bag of M6 hardware is gonna be those 4 bolts that bolts the side piece to the main piece. Tools required for this install: have a flathead to help with the intake, E14, which is a like inverted Torx, socket or a wrench, 5mm Allen wrench or socket, 4mm Allen wrench recommended over socket to get into a tighter area, and then a 13mm socket. All right guys, so step 1, we remove the engine cover. I don't even know if that's necessary, but rip it off. We're gonna remove this strut bar. We're gonna remove the intake. We're gonna remove the lower intake, which has an OEM heat shield on it, and then we'll be able to have a better picture of where we're working. So we're gonna do that, and then, yeah, you'll hear more from me then. All right guys, so with the intake removed, you can see we have a lot more area, really nice. The issue that we're solving is that this turbo is literally right here and there is no heat shield. So basically by installing a heat shield in this location, we're gonna keep heat where we want it and we're gonna keep it out where we don't want it. Makes sense, right? At the end of the day, we are going to unbolt this bolt and we're gonna unbolt this bolt. And then we're going to install the 2 spacers with the heat shield and then the bolt and the washer, and that's gonna be the main piece. Then we're gonna install the side piece. So let's get to it. All right, so we're gonna tighten the bolts with 5mm Allen socket. Oh, sorry, these are M8s, but this is a 5mm head. So 5mm head, button head cap screw. Again, there's a spacer behind that. I'm just gonna tighten it to about 10 foot-pounds. This is a German car, so I'm gonna go to good and tight. All right. Now, let's see if I can zoom in here. Focus. Well, it's a little hard to see, it's a little dark. But basically there's gonna be 4 holes. And on the small, can you give me that piece? All right, on this guy, they all have threaded nuts already pressed in. So we're basically going to install it like this with the M6 hardware that we supply. All the M6 bolts they look to be about like 12mm long. We have small washers. That goes on the outside, obviously. All right guys, with the main heat shield loosely installed, we're gonna throw this small guy down in there, like so. Oh, wow, that goes a lot easier than when it's fully installed. So nice. It's like I already messed it up once. There we go. Use the M6 hardware, M6 by 12mm long button head cap screws with washer, and you can bolt, got the hardware over there? You can bolt the side bracket. They're over here, buddy. Side bracket, thank you. Side bracket onto the main bracket, and probably the hardest part of the install is just not dropping these small bolts as you work it on. I have not tightened those M8 bolts yet because it kind of makes it a little easier when you can have a little wiggle room. All right guys, at this point, the heat shield is fully installed. So we have the M8 bolts, they're torqued to about 10 foot-pounds. We have the M6 bolts going into the side plate, which is like really difficult to see, I apologize. But it's like basically right there, which covers it nicely, keeps the heat away from the actuator. And those are torqued to about 6 foot-pounds. We're basically going to reinstall the intake, reinstall the strut bar, and the install is done. All right guys, that concludes the install of the heat shield for the Toyota Supra. This is for the 6-port. We have an install video for the 2-port as well. Clay might link that below. If he was wise, that would be awesome, Clay. Do that. You should totally do that. Till next time.